guys. Okay. So I again welcome you all guys in the Cypress demo session, Cypress with JavaScript. Today we will be having a high-level detailed discussions on what all things will be covered in the Cypress framework. Okay. So I'll be just going through like high-level discussion first of all, and then we will kind of go into the demo part of our Cypress. Okay. So in Cypress demo, this session, right? What we will have is we will be purely focusing on one programming language, that is JavaScript. Okay. Second is we will be using only one editor as of now. That editor will be VS Code, guys. Okay. So these are the two prerequisite, I mean, two things which we will be using most frequently for all type of framework which we will be covering in Cypress. Okay. Uh, yeah, Shweta, I am speaking and it is audible to everyone. I think so. Not sure about you. Uh, you can just try to rejoin Shweta. It might be issue at your end. So for everyone, it is like audible, guys. Okay. So just at high level, what I mentioned is like we will be covering JS as a PL programming language, and with respect to editor, we will be purely focusing on VS Code, guys. Okay. Now I'll not go into like details of why automation, why we are moving towards automation, what is the drawback of manual testing, why people should do this automation. I hope it is fine, because obviously those are the basic things. What is being let's say I'll share the details of PPTs and everything for manual testing, guys, because I don't want to kind of go into detail of what is let's say equivalence class partitioning, what is boundary value analysis, what is white box testing, black box testing. So I hope everyone are like comfortable with that. Although I'll share the content, all the materials with respect to manual testing, whatever is required, because as you guys are aware, right, the prerequisite for kind of moving into automation is like you should be very good with the manual testing concept. Okay. So manual testing is must, guys. Okay. Please don't get in this saying that no, if I don't want to learn manual testing, then I can do the automation. The answer is no, guys. The very first thing is you need to be very good with the manual testing concept, like basic concept I'm saying. Okay. So I'll just have a high level discussions on manual testing, guys. I will not do deep dive into manual testing, you can say course content. For I'll just go through them and I'll share the course content material, which will be sufficient for you to kind of have good understanding on the manual testing concept. Okay. So I hope that is uh, fine with everyone. If anybody wants to, let's say, go little bit more in detail about manual testing, please feel free to kind of let me know, guys. Okay, no problem. Next is, guys, why Cypress? Okay, why Cypress? Why not other like automation tools? The answer to this is, guys, as you guys are already aware, that Cypress is being kind of you can consider relatively popular tool as of now in the market compared to other programming tools. Okay. Even if you compare the three major tools which we have, guys, okay, right now in the market is Selenium, Cypress, and the third one is Playwright, and rest of them are the paid tools. Okay, when I say paid tools, we have such as Catalan, Lambda Test, all other paid tools. Okay, but our major focus like Selenium, Cypress, and Playwright, these are the major player right now in the automation world. Okay, for both, guys, when I say both, both means basically like a front end as well as back end. Okay. So for both the type of testing, these are the major player right now which is present in the market. Okay. Now out of this, why Cypress? Why should we learn Cypress? Why should we create our framework in Cypress? Okay, what are the advantages? What are the, you can say, there are obviously some cons as well, there are disadvantages as well. Okay, but yes, why Cypress? So we'll go through this one by one. Okay. So I think there is one question from someone. Let me see that. Sumit, it is not audible. Uh, I think Sumit. Okay, what about others? I hope everyone can see my can see my screen as well as can hear me, right? Okay, perfect, perfect. Thank you, Nita. Thank you so much. So what? I hope Sumit, you can hear me now. You have rejoined, I guess, right? So please make sure. If you guys are not able to this thing, please rejoin it. Okay. So now I'm coming to the topic, which is very, very important from the understanding point of view, why we are kind of learning Cypress. Okay, what are the advantage? What are the drawback as well, right? There are some drawbacks, some limitations of Cypress as a complete end-to-end automation tool, guys. Okay. Now, when it comes to guys advantage, okay, very simple. It is very easy setup, guys. Okay, the setup part is very, very straightforward. Within 3 to 7 minutes you will be able to set up your complete Cypress, you can say, framework, guys. Okay, within 3 to 5 minutes you will be able to set up the complete you can say because you just that's what I told, right? You will just require one particular tool. One is VS Code, and another thing is we will require one more very, very important, that is Node Package Manager. Okay, we will require, guys, Node Package Manager. Okay, which is called as NPM. Okay, which is called as Node Package Manager. Okay, so I'll talk about this in detail. What is Node Package Manager? Okay, these are the major thing which is required. That's it. No other third party dependency, nothing is required. Okay, so I think there is one more voice is breaking. Okay, so the next thing what is required, why we are kind of having or let's say the major advantage is like we are having a lot of built-in features, guys. Okay, I'll show you the official website also, wherein you will be able to kind of compare this with other automation tools. Okay, when I say built-in features, guys, built-in features I'm talking about, like you can consider assertion. Okay, you can consider, let's say, mocking of the, you can say, request APIs. Okay, you have something called as you will not have the support of additional libraries, guys. Okay, additional libraries is not required. Okay, but yes, there are some, you can say, drawback due to which we may take support of additional libraries. But yeah, overall, if you consider, right, we may not require that much amount of additional library. Okay, so that's the built-in feature, guys. Next is like you will have live you can say reload, guys. Okay, what is live reload? Basically, live reload means your test is running on the right hand side, you will see the steps on the left hand side. You can try to map, like, if this step is executed, what should be the UI screen? If step number 7 has been executed, what should be my UI screen? So it is like a real user is performing an action over the web browser. That's how the live reload work, guys. Okay, so live reload means what? It will be like the actual user who is actually performing the steps one by one, and whatever weights you need to provide in between the steps you can provide. But Cypress relatively is very, very fast, guys. If you compare with Selenium, it is 10x faster, guys, in terms of execution. Please remember, if Selenium script is taking 1 minute, or let's say 10 minutes to execute, then Cypress script will take 1 minute to execute the same functionality. Okay, please remember this. So that's fast Cypress is, guys. Okay, next is we are having a beautiful interactive, guys, test runner. Okay, what is this interactive test runner? I'll show you that once we do the setup, guys. Initial setup. Interactive test runner means you will have a beautiful dashboard kind of UI, wherein you will see the real time test cases which is getting added to your project, and on clicking it will start executing. Okay, so you will be able to kind of understand when that test case was updated, when that was ran, what was the past record. Everything will be provided, guys. Okay, over that particular runner section. Okay, You will see step by step execution. That's what I mentioned on the left hand side. Each step will be kind of in the detailed manner, so that you can see the xhr request also, guys. What is xhr? Which is nothing but it is coming under chrome dev tool, guys. You can see the api calls also. You can see the any network latency or anything which is present. So everything will be captured on the left hand side of the Cypress runner. Okay. Next is very very important, that is time travel, guys. Okay, what do you mean by time travel? Time travel means like if you want to go to step number 1, you just hover your mouse over that particular step. You will be able to see the screen what was present in step number 1. If you want to see the screen which is present at step number 5, okay, please hover your mouse. Okay, please hover your mouse. You will be able to see the screen what was present at step number 5. So that's the concept of time travel, wherein you will be able to view the real time action, guys, at any point. Okay. Next is if you notice, guys, Cypress directly coordinate with what? Directly inside the browser, guys. Okay. So if you remember, right, if those who are having the exposure or let's say experience with Selenium, we need to have the drivers. Okay. We need to have Chrome driver, we need to have Edge driver, we need to have Opera driver. Okay. And based on the driver, right, we will be able to communicate with what? Browser. Okay. So I'll give you one example. Selenium, from script, it actually call what? It calls driver. Driver calls what? Web driver, which is nothing but it calls basically, you can say, Chrome driver. Okay. Chrome driver will call Chrome browser. That's how the flow is, guys. Okay. This is about Selenium I'm talking, guys. Okay. When it comes to Cypress, script will directly call what, guys? Script will directly call Chrome. Okay, there is no intermediator, nothing is available. That's the reason this is 10x faster, guys. Okay. So all the test what is being executed, guys, everything is executed straight away inside the respective Chrome browser, Opera browser, whichever browser you have in the configuration part, it will directly trigger steps into that particular browser. Okay. Whereas in Selenium you have certain ways, rules, regulations which needs to be followed, and based on that only your execution starts. Okay. Clear, everyone? I'll take a pause here, guys. Anybody wants to add anything, please feel free to unmute and speak up, guys, at any point. If you think didn't understood or any queries, any concerns, you can just highlight, and at the end of the session we will have the question and answer session also. But yeah, regarding the topics which has been listed over here in this, if you got any query, doubt, you can kind of raise your hand or ask your doubt by unmuting yourself, guys. Okay. I have not introduced myself. Let me kind of quickly introduce myself. My name is Vikas. I been into automation almost like 12 plus years now. Have been working like almost like more than 25,000 test cases in terms of the number of test case that has been automated so far, and it is the count for all the tools, I would say. I've started my obvious journey with Selenium. I have also got some exposure on the premium tools as well. Then I have got exposures on performance testing using Jmeter, also with Gatling, and I have some exposure on security testing, guys, with respect to Zap, that is Z Attack Proxy, and got some exposure over Burpsuit as well, which is again a security testing tool. And recent, like around 4 to 5 years, I'm purely into Cypress, as well as you can consider Playwright for API, UI, all type of like automation framework. And overall, you can consider with respect to non-functional testing, not enough exposure on security as well as performance. Obviously, functional testing, with the tool which I mentioned, that is Selenium, Cypress, as well as Playwright. Okay, that's the overall you can say exposure I do have, guys. Okay, so the drawback, guys, over here, Cypress directly work inside browser. So there is one drawback, which is nothing but Cypress is not able to handle what multi-window website or multi-browse, multi-tab website, basically. Okay, so we need to handle those situation in a separate, you can say, in a there are some workaround. That workaround, if it is possible, then we need to follow that. Otherwise, we will be kind of having some, you can say, disadvantage of using Cypress for those type of test cases, guys. Okay, please remember, in this we don't require like community support is huge, guys. I'll show you the various documentation. Okay, through the documentation also itself, you will have a greater visibility, like what is this command doing, when to use this command, how is this command, let's say, playing a vital role in our test case execution. So obviously I'll talk about that in the like coming minutes. Okay, then whatever applications we have, right, whether it is SPA, that is single page application, guys. Okay, if you have single page application, works very very good, guys, with single page application. If you have, let's say, the applications which are built on React. Okay, if it is, let's say, built on Angular. Okay, if it is built on, let's say, other frameworks such as Vue JS. So this has got a very good, you can say, stability in terms of the test case creation, in terms of execution, and in terms of understanding the respective behavior when we are running the actual test cases. Okay, and the documentation is huge, guys. Okay, that's what I mentioned in community support. But the documentations which is provided over the official website, guys, that is also very good, very huge. Okay, and also whatever plugins are required, those plugins are officially present on their official page as well. Okay, so overall, guys, these are the major reason. Okay, and I think I forgot to mention one very very important, that is, it is very easy to identify the flaky test cases using Cypress, guys. Okay, so flaky test cases, like if you execute 10 times, those are getting passed for 7 times, 3 times if it is not passing. Okay, so those type of test case identification is done very good with the help of you can say Cypress, guys. Okay, so overall, whatever advantage I told over here, guys, it is already mentioned over their official website. It is nothing like I am talking out of the box, guys. If I show you the official website, guys, okay, cypress.io, this is the official website, wherein if you go through this particular website. Okay, so here, if you notice carefully, guys, everyone, please have a look. Here it is saying test modern app directly in the browser. This is the first point. Write your first passing test in a minute. Second point, debug failure in the browser, guys. Okay, eliminate flaky test with the ease. So integrate with the CI/CD concept. Okay, then we have some very important topic which I'll talk in detail in the coming minutes, which is nothing but about Cypress Cloud. Okay, so Cypress Cloud is one particular section which was previously called as Cypress, you can say, dashboard, guys. Now the name has been changed to Cypress Cloud, which is nothing but handling all your executions over, let's say, if you want to integrate this with some dashboard, some style, right, wherein the pie chart, the flow chart, line chart, everything will be created for your test cases. For that purpose, we will have the Cypress Cloud, and Cypress Cloud comes with some pricing, guys. Okay, there is some pricing involved with the Cypress Cloud. So over here, one more point I would like to mention, that is integration with CI/CD. Like when I say CI/CD, it is very very straightforward, very seamless. Okay, we will be able to integrate easily with any of the CI/CD logic. Okay, so whether it is Jenkins, whether it is YAML file, whether it is, let's say, creating over Circle CI, GitHub, everything is fine. Okay, all the third party application, which is, let's say, GitLab, GitHub, Circle CI, Bitbucket, everything is supported, guys. Okay, so we will be able to kind of have the very good this thing with the CI/CD configuration as well. Okay, so I was like mentioning something about Cypress Cloud, guys. Cypress Cloud, please remember, guys, comes with some pricing. Okay, so if you go to the pricing section of this, okay, over there you will see something called as uh, scale with Cypress Cloud. For free trial, it will be free for I think 50 user, but 14 days or something. Okay, so here you can see that it is free for 14 days once you provide your email ID. After 14 days, this particular expiration, this particular you can say plan will be expired, guys. Okay, after that you need to have some let's say obviously some of you might already been using, and if you have some customization, please go with this logic wherein you can provide some customization as well. Okay, now the purpose of Cypress Cloud is nothing but it is executing all your test case over the cloud. That's it. Okay, all your report generation will happen on cloud. All your assertion error, the videos, the screenshots, the let's say whatever message you want to have, right, everything will be done over the cloud. Only the scripting part will be done locally. You need to push those script over the GitHub or let's say any of the tool, and once it is uploaded over GitHub, it will identify that particular repo and it will start executing your test case, guys. Okay, so that's the whole purpose of cloud. So the execution happen fast. You will be able to share the report with all the stakeholders. So there are obviously a lot of advantage with respect to Cypress Cloud. If the client is providing, I would recommend you to please utilize this, and you will have very good, you can say dashboard style, let's say report generation. Everything will be very, you can say beautiful with the Cypress Cloud logic. Okay. Now coming back to our actual, you can say Cypress website, guys. Over here, I was actually showing you some of the pointers which I just discussed. Okay, so I would request everyone to please go through this website, complete website. I'm not saying only the home page. Just go through all the pointers which has been mentioned over here. Okay, so total around 12 to 15 pointers will be mentioned. So I would request everyone to please go through the website. Okay, once if you got any this thing. Okay, once you get the time. So website link, I'll share this detail, guys. Okay. Next is, guys, we have something with respect to uh, the course content, right? Which I was talking about. Everyone has went through the course content or not? Okay. So the course content, it consists of you can consider like we will start with JavaScript basics, guys. Okay. So here, if you notice carefully, we have spoken about the course syllabus, which is nothing but it will start with introduction to JS. Okay, as I mentioned, guys, the JS is a completely end-to-end programming language, which is obviously you need to have the complete knowledge on object-oriented programming concept and how we will have the looping concept, conditional statement, if else, all this whatever is required from the Cypress framework point of view, we will try to make sure that everything is covered. After that, we will speak about like Cypress installation and setup, the architecture. Although I already shown you some of the prerequisites and everything. Right now, also we can kind of just have a look onto how we can set up this. Then we will have the installation of Cypress and project setup. We will create one total. I think we will try to cover minimum three frameworks, two on UI, one on API, guys. Minimum. Okay, if time permits, we'll try to cover one more framework on API. Otherwise, minimum three is what I usually kind of go through. After that, we will have some conditional, like whatever we have learned, right, with respect to JS. I will try to make sure that those is being converted over the Cypress, how to use our Cypress, how what are the method functions, we will try to have it. Then we have test runner, which is very important feature of Cypress, wherein we will try to execute our test case via runner, via CLI, that is command line interface, also through the terminal area. Okay, this is very important, guys. Okay, so which is the heart of Cypress, wherein we will talk about locators, assertions, CSV, how to have global let's say config properties, how to use fixture folder, how to use support folder, command.js, e2e.js, how to handle mouse event, how to handle, let's say, file upload, file download, where our file will be saved, how to read any type of file, whether it is pdf, txt, .csv, .json, .xml. Okay, so all this will be covered under this getting started with Cypress automation. Okay, then we will talk about the API, which will cover the Postman tool also, guys. I might have not mentioned over here. Okay, so Postman tool basically like whatever CRUD operations we have, right? So we will try to make sure the CRUD operation, how to write the script in our script section of Postman, how to create collection, how to run the complete end-to-end collection with data driven style. Like you can have an Excel which will have all set of data, you can read those data into your Postman collection and try to trigger environment setup, different environment, how to create, let's say, flowchart in Postman. So that is about the Postman, guys, because before starting your API framework, it is mandatory to have the manual testing concept clear for the API as well. Okay, so that's what we will do with the Postman tool. After that we will jump on to Cypress with the cy.request and cy.intercept. These two methods are major, playing a vital role when we are talking about the API framework with Cypress. After that we will speak about how we can convert our complete form structure, that is page object model, into Cucumber style of writing, because Cypress do not have the direct support for Cucumber, guys. Okay, we need to install some third party dependency logic will help us create end to end Cucumber framework. Okay, after that we will have the report generation logic, how we will generate the report, how we can integrate with the CI/CD concept. Okay, and also I didn't mention over here about the Cypress cloud as well, guys. Okay, so which is also part of this content. Okay, wherein we will, since it is available free for one user, right? So we will have one email address which will be altogether new. For that we will have the 14 days trial period, so under which we will try to cover all the executions over the cloud, how the report is getting generated, what report we do share with the stakeholder, and how to analyze those report. Okay, so that is about the Cypress cloud, which is not mentioned over here, but I'll obviously will obviously go through that as well. Okay, so at this point I have just spoken about what all content will be covered, what is the advantage of Cypress, what are the different pros, what are the different cons of Cypress. Anybody wants to kind of ask? I think there were a couple of queries over the chat window. Let me go through that. Okay. So I think Abhishek mentioned the number of, I'll share those detail as well, guys. Total number of duration, this thing is like, I usually have this this thing is total hours. Minimum is 25, guys, 25 hours. Maximum it can be 35 hours. Okay. That depends upon the number of queries, questions you guys got. Okay. Otherwise, we will try to have this inside this particular duration. And also one more thing, guys, it's not like if I mention this as 35 it means that after 35 it is not like we will not have any this thing query solving or something. If you guys got any, let's say, questions, query, doubt, anything, guys, after this thing also, I'll be available, guys. You can just ping me, or let's say show me your doubts, query, questions. We'll have the connect over one to one, guys. Okay, and we'll make sure that your doubts or queries or whatever is there, okay, it will get resolved. And it will be like daily duration of the course will be 1 hour. Okay, the timing will be like 9 p.m. IST to 10 p.m. IST. Okay, so this will be the time which we will have, guys. Okay, and it will be from Monday to Friday. Okay, so days will be Monday to Friday, Monday to Friday, every day. Okay, if there are any some let's say anything which is I am having some you can say anything urgency or something, I'll obviously let you know prior to the class as well. That's what I told you. Over here we will do live coding, guys. Okay, so per for that purpose, let me show you some of the demo project which I have done for the prior batch. Okay, so let me show you some of the open source project, guys. Okay, so here I'm opening some of the projects which I have done for previous batches, guys. Okay, so here is the UI, guys. I hope my screen is visible to all. Okay, so here you can see that we are having some of the test cases which we have created, which we have covered. Okay, so this is the folder structure. Okay, so all the project will go under single folder, single project. Okay, single this thing source directory, and everything will be present inside Cypress. Okay, so here under E2E, you will see the all the test cases whatever we try to cover from the UI point of view, from the API point of view. Okay, and from here we will try to run our actual test case. Okay, so obviously everything will be obviously with the live coding example, with relevant example, because we need to have some open source website. On those open source website only we will be able to perform the respective coding part. Okay, so but obvious for that the requirement is you need to have some basic strength on JavaScript. That is must, guys. Okay, once you have good exposure and understanding on JavaScript, then we'll jump onto the Cypress part, guys. Okay, so yeah, I am open to questions, guys. I would request anybody wants to add anything, ask anything. Also, I think, yeah, some of you might be having queries with respect to resume as well, right? Some, because I see that most of the people, what detail you need to add with respect to resume, right? So that support also we will have it. Okay, what all detail you can add into resume, but the number of year would be, guys, maximum 3 to 4 year, max 3 to 5 years, guys. Only that exposure experience you can have if you don't have any background on automation. Okay, with real time 3 framework, with real time 3 framework. Okay, so that you can add into your resume, because I saw most of the queries like people are having is like what all detail you can enter into the resume once I am done with the course. Okay, so this is what you can add, real time framework for Cypress. And yes, at the end of the course, guys, you will get a course completion certification. Okay, so course completion certification will be provided to you at the end of the session. Look, at the end of all the sessions is done, right? After that, yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah. Hi, Vikas. This is Venkat.
Yeah, Venk.
Yeah, currently I am working on so company, and my background is total 4 years of experience in completely manual testing.
Mhm.
In manual testing, we are working on API or what are the manual testing I have. But coming to automation, I don't have any experience in any OOPS concept, any JavaScript. I don't know completely. But previous batch, I think one of my friend has joined in your Cypress batch only.
Mm-hmm.
Is strongly suggested for that your institute and guidance itself.
Mm-hmm. So that's what
Um,
I mentioned, right? You, it is not mandatory that you need to have the automation background. Okay, please remember.
yes,
So we will do it from scratch. That's what.
yeah, so that is the reason only. Actually, my friend also suggested for that. He is also don't have any experience in automation, but as of now, he is very confident for the JavaScript like Cypress. Compared to in Selenium, Cypress is very easy to write the scripts and very easy to understand the scripts.
Correct, correct. The reason for this is, guys, because Java has got a lot of you can say concept. Okay, where dependencies, the support, community support. Okay, and for that reason, having good confident over JS. Okay, because JS has got different ways of writing the test. Obviously, I'll showcase that in a couple of minutes. Okay, and very easy you can say language which I'll be using when I'm trying to kind of write any of the test case from scratch. And by reading the test steps, right, you will have good, you can say, confident as well as like understanding that yeah, this test case is doing so and so. Okay, obviously we will do functional test first because that's a prerequisite. That's what I mentioned. Manual testing is must. And once it is done, after that you will be able to relate whatever we did manually, the same thing we are doing for the automation as well. Okay, so yeah, overall comparatively easy to understand. Within 2 or 3 let's say session or 4 session maximum, you will be like having enough confident in writing basic JS code as well in Cypress. Okay, that's for sure. Yeah. Anyone else wants to add anything before I move to, let's say, installation or setup, guys?
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, Sachin here. I just want to know just basic question. So actually, I have almost 6+ year experience in manual testing and small in automation. So I just need if I complete this Cypress course. So actually, what range package we will demand in
Okay.
such a case?
So it totally depends upon the current, you can say whatever you have, as well as like I would suggest to kind of depends upon, let's say if you're doing any POC for Cypress with the current organization, and if they
Mhm.
are kind of cool, like they are, because what happens most of the time is you need to create some POC for the existing project, and if that POC is approved, or let's say the higher manager or whatever is there, right, hierarchy, they are able to like understand whatever you have done automation is fine or not. If it is good, they will obviously kind of take that into a positive mode. And usually it is most of the time it is whatever number of years is there, right, into minimum I would say 2.2 into number of year minimum. Okay, that's what
Okay, okay, okay.
2.25 into number of year. That's what the uh, with respect to automation I'm talking, irrespective whether it is
Hmm.
Cypress, Selenium or Playwright, any of the tool. Yeah, that's the overall you can
Okay,
consider. Yeah,
okay, okay. Thank you.
yeah. Yes. Anyone else wants to add anything?
Yeah, Suresh, I have question.
Yes.
So JavaScript is the only language with this tool, or in
Two
the market other languages
languages.
are also? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so we have two languages. Okay, one is JS and second is TypeScript. Okay, so if you notice, there are two language. One is JS and second is TypeScript. But overall, if you consider the difference between JS and TS, hardly 10 to 15% difference you will feel. Okay, when it comes to end-to-end framework, the popularity of JS is comparatively more. Okay, the reason is you guys are already aware that most of the front end application, whether it is Angular, React, or Vue, or any of the framework, or Jasmine, or any of the framework, is mostly using JS as a first primary language. Okay, and people are the difference between TS and JS is not much, guys. In terms of configuration, in terms of writing the script, in terms of assertion syntax, in terms of identifying locator, everything is similar. The only thing is there are some syntax structure which get updated at the start of the file. That's it. So only two languages are supported. One is JS and second is TypeScript. Okay, TS and JS. Okay. Anyone else wants to add anything? Um, you can ask any of any questions, any doubts, guys. Don't hesitate to ask any silly questions as well. Okay, whatever you have, whether I'm altogether new on QA, let's say QA, then how would I be, like anything you have in your mind, please feel free to unmute and speak up, guys. Okay, so I would like to have the session to be more interactive, guys. That's what my recommendation is. The more you ask doubts, obviously you will have less doubt in your mind, guys. Okay, that's what I recommend every time. You can unmute and speak up, guys.
Suresh, one question. How much scripting, how much percentage of scripting required for automation here?
Yeah. In terms of scripting, it will be like totally around 60%, 60 to 65% of scripting you will have it in JS. Okay, otherwise everything is with the inbuilt command which is provided by Cypress. Okay, that you need to kind of have the understanding on. So most probably the number of command which is required from creating the end-to-end framework for Cypress automation is most probably like between 100 to 120 commands which are available in Cypress. Okay, I'll show you the complete list in just 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, and once you have the understanding on those command, right, it is very easy for you to kind of create a setup or framework from scratch. That's how it is. Okay, so around 65% is scripting, 35% is purely configurations, and you will require some knowledge on the keywords which will be present inside your configuration part. And once you have the clarity on that, you will be able to create any type of framework, whether it is API, whether it is UI, both type of framework. Okay, so this is I'm not saying that this is the official. Let me show you one of the official document. Okay, so whenever you are trying to look for any of the command, okay, in Cypress, okay, just write that command. Okay, so this is the documentation, guys, which I'm talking about. So this is the community support which I mentioned, right? The community support for Cypress is very, very beautiful, guys, because on the left hand side you can see all the commands which are available, such as and, as, blur, check, children's. All these are nothing but the commands. Okay, then we have something called a Cypress API, catalog of event, how to handle those events, how to handle pop-ups, how to handle JS pop-up. So all these are already available with real-time example, guys. Okay, so when I say cy.request, cy.request is used in which logic, like how to use, what is the syntax. And here you will see some real-time example as well. Here you will see some usage, like how additional, how we can use it. And somebody mentioned, right, what is the difference between JS and TS? So at the top you can see that it is using const, and in TS it is using import. Okay, so that's how the difference is in terms of syntax. Okay, so this I'm talking about single request command. Okay, in same way, all the commands whatever is present in Cypress, okay, for each and every command we have a beautiful documentation which is already provided. So if at any point if you think, let's say, didn't understood how to use or what is the syntax, you can go to their official documentation page and try to make sure you have followed the same syntax, same approach. Okay, yes, anyone?
Suresh,
Yeah,
I have one question.
go ahead, please.
Uh, is there any possibility to use ChatGPT code with the automation script or any AI tool which can help to automate the web page? So which can be easy for scripting?
Mhm. Yeah, I understood your topic concerned out. So basically what
Hmm.
happens is, see, now this thing which is like chat gpt is actually possible with all tools, actually not only with Cypress. Okay, it is feasible with Selenium also, it is feasible with Cypress also, it is feasible with Playwright also. The only thing is chat gpt or whatever we will be using, right, it will show the unique ways of writing the script. Okay, we can refer them, I'm not saying we cannot, we can refer them, we can use them into our code as well, not to worry on that part. The only thing is some syntax structure we may need to modify as per our requirement. Okay, when I say requirement, our test case might have some different requirement, right? So for that purpose we may modify some of the scripting values, scripting areas. Otherwise the answer is yes, we will be using it, but not that extensive. Okay, like every time we are referring, or let's say depending on that, no, that's not the case. We will use that in case if we are not able to, let's say, identify locator, identify, let's say, how to handle this particular weight, how to handle this assertion, how to identify this element over UI. In such a situation we will obviously use that, and yes, we will be able to use it into our existing, or let's say newly created framework from scratch as well.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone wants to add anything, guys? Okay. So just to give you an insight, guys, I'll again open my this text field, text this thing, in which I just wanted to mention two important setup that you guys need to do. Okay, before coming to let's say tomorrow's session. So in which first is you will do one very important, that is you will install the Node.js into your machine. Okay, so just go to Google. Okay, the steps are simple. Okay, and just write install Node.js. That's it. Okay, once you write this, you will go to their official you can say website. Over here you have multiple ways to do that. If you are using Windows, please select Windows. And if you want to install, let's say, a file instead of writing the command or something, you can just click on pre-built installer, click on this. A file will get downloaded of around 16 60 something MB. Once you download that, you just need to follow next, 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 and once at the end you will see that Node.js is successfully installed. Okay, once it is installed, set up, you just need to go to your CMD if you are using Windows. And for Mac user, please go to terminal, and over here just write node hyphen version. Okay, uh, sorry, my bad. There are two things: node hyphen hyphen version, which will show you the version which is installed. For me it is 18.16.0. For you it will be 22.12.0. Okay, so I'm repeating the steps again. Just go to Google and just write Node.js installation. You will navigate to this website. Once you navigate, please go to this logic, download Node.js. It's the first step which you need to do. Okay, second is go to Google and type VS Code download. Okay, very important. And just go to the official page of VS Code and just click on Windows and copy same thing. No out of, like, no out of the box, simple you can say steps you need to follow that. Okay, so download VS Code. So this is the link for VS Code, guys. Okay, so once you do that, these two things are required. You will see the VS Code UI something similar to this. Okay, you can select the theme and everything. Okay, but that's secondary. These two things you need to have it into your machine before like tomorrow's session, guys. Okay, very important. So once you do this, after that we will obviously touch base to the first test case, how to set up Cypress and everything in the tomorrow's discussion, guys. Okay, before that I would request everyone, if anybody wants to add anything, any query, doubt, questions, please you can unmute and speak up, guys. Okay, and I already shared the course content. I already shared the, let me share the link as well so that it is clear to everyone. uh, Course content link. Yes, anyone wants to add anything before, let's say, we finish off? Anyone wants to, let's say, any query, doubt, questions?
Hello, Vikas, can you hear me?
Go ahead, Shweta, please.
Yeah, I just wondered, like, I think you have already updated that, like, Celine, Cypress will not handle multiple windows, right? Like,
That's a correct.
so, are we going to use any plugins in order to test any of the multi-tab functionalities?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, okay. And what about, like, is it supports only Chrome browser, or will it work for cross
Chrome,
browser?
it will work for Chrome, it will work
Mm.
for Opera, it will work for Edge, it will work for Firefox, it will
Okay.
work for Electron. All the Chromium browser, yes. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And for Safari, we have some different this thing, that is
Okay.
one which we need to use.
And what about OS? Like, will it be compatible
Uh,
for mobile apps testing or
yes,
no?
Mobile browser testing we will not be able to do with Cypress. There is
Okay.
command which will help you to do the UI testing for different resolution, that is for sure.
Mhm.
Okay, but it is not having the support as what APM is having. Okay,
Yeah,
so
API. Yeah.
it's altogether, let's say, mobile related. So this is not having that support.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. Thank you.
perfect. Perfect.
Hi Vikas, Vipin this side.
Vipin, go ahead, please.
Yeah. Will you provide notes as well or not?
Yeah, I forgot to mention. All the content, whatever I'll be having, right? We will create one readme.md file or something like that, okay, which will be attached to the existing, you can say, our code, right? Like when I say code, that is the live coding which we are going to do. So all the content will be written in that same file, and at the same time, that particular note will be shared to you along with the recorded, you can say, video. Like the video which is right now being captured, this is also like the will become live by tomorrow, let's say by 12 or something. Okay, so you can have the two things will be provided: the notes, the GitHub link, the videos, as well as if there are some additional notes which is required. When I said additional notes, so basically, because I said right at the start only, we are not going in detail about manual testing, right? So for manual testing, such as what is requirement traceability matrix, what is test strategy document, what is test plan document, okay? So all this will be provided to you. You can just have a look in the template, or let's say structure. If you got any queries or manual testing also, you feel free to kind of ask your doubt for that as well. Okay, the notes will be provided.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm, Vikas, one thing, how many scenarios you will be covered through the framework, like as a one, two, or three?
If I consider, let's say, Cucumber framework, okay, let me give you an
Mm,
example. In
yeah.
Cucumber, most probably the website will be having is mostly like either the banking website or an e-commerce website. Okay, so if it is an e-commerce website, like we will have around 10 to 12 feature file. Okay, and those feature file will be linked to respective step dev. Okay, and that number of scenarios will be covered. Okay, so approximately the coverage would be 70 to 80%. Okay, remaining 20%, obviously you can have it into your live this thing. Okay, and as far as, let's say, the course is going on, right, at the same time, let's say you guys are creating the framework at your end for the POC purpose or your project, right? And on that project, if you got any doubt, query, questions, you can let me know for that as well.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Because Sachin here,
Yes.
I see some interview phase, some specific interview in Cyprus. So I got some points. So majority interviewer ask some JavaScript code. So directly they jump in coding.
Yes,
So is there any coding notes for JavaScript you are
yes,
providing?
mandatory. Any which ways, we will go through our initial sessions will be on JS code only. Okay,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
those code will be like, in an interview, most of the time they directly ask you. They provide a string, and on that string they might ask you to, hey, can you convert this plus into actual plus, something like that, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
those type of questions they usually ask. So in that case, obviously you need to have good this thing with JS as well. Okay, so that
Mhm.
we will cover, don't worry.
Okay, okay. Because I face lots of coding issues, so that's the reason. Just
Yeah,
asking.
we'll cover, don't worry on that part. Yes, it will be
Okay,
part of our course.
thanks.
Yeah. Okay, I think we are on time. So yeah, guys, and regarding the this thing, guys, I would request you to reach out to Kumar sir, right? So the course content and everything is provided to you this, and the course fees is mentioned already over here. Okay, so just have a look into this, and if you got any queries, doubt, questions, you can reach out at any point. Okay, And let me know if you got any concern, doubt. If you have any, you can drop a note over WhatsApp as well. It's not like at any point if you feel, let's say, didn't understood that, or let's say is this will be covered or not, something like that, feel free to kind of drop a note over WhatsApp as well in the group. Okay, so
Yeah, Vikas, one thing.
yeah, Vipin, go ahead, please.
Yeah. You were saying that you will cover scenario with the cucumber, right?
Mhm.
So, apart from cucumber, you also cover the framework like as a without cucumber, like as a with
That's
only
yeah, that
Cypress framework.
Cypress only will be POM, correct? Most of the framework
Yeah,
are in POM style. Okay,
yeah.
so that will be covered for sure. That's what I told, right? Minimum 3 framework, maximum can be 4. 2 for sure on UI. Okay, one will be POM and second will be Cucumber. Okay, and for rest assured, it will be purely like into API part. Okay,
Okay.
in all the APIs, how we handle the API, how to write cy.request, all those things will be part of our API framework.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Okay then. Uh, Thank you everyone for joining today's demo session. I would request you to reach out to Kumar sir regarding the next step. Okay, and most probably tomorrow also will start the first test case of Cypress. Okay, so I would request everyone to join on time, guys. You will get the recorded like the recording of this as well, guys, by most probably in the WhatsApp group. Just have a look, just keep an eye on your WhatsApp group, and also you will be provided the next step that you need to follow over the WhatsApp group. Thank you once again, thank you so much, have a good day. We'll meet tomorrow at same time, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys, thank you so much.